TitleMatchNetwork.com.
I mean, it was like a pharmacy, you know, among other things that was going on in the locker room. Sometimes you open up a locker room door, it's like a big cloud of smoke. Well, you know, and it smells like, well, it smells nice and sweet. You know, I'm not a pot smoker, so, but I knew what it was. But the locker rooms back in the day, I mean, sometimes you saw stuff on the table that you go, that's a pretty long line there. You know, so I mean, that stuff was there. I don't. The times I've gone to the matches now with the WWF, everything is that stuff is not there. I don't see it. I mean, no bellows of smoke coming out of a locker room, lines of white powder on a table. I don't see it no more. You don't see anybody going into their gimmick bag and opening up and dumping out pills. I haven't seen it the few times I've gone to the arena up here in New Jersey. But and then we're out partying all night. I mean, I remember a night with Roddy Piper again, and he brought it up to me back about 6 months ago when I saw him. He goes, remember that night we had in Halifax, Nova Scotia? Well, fuck, if we got 30 minutes of sleep, that's all we got that night. I mean, most of the time I couldn't wait to get on that plane because that's where I'd get my best sleep. You know, my head would fall forward and that's where I got to sleep. And then as soon as I landed, we hit the ground running, you know, get the car, get the hotel, boom, boom, gym, gimmicks, boom. You know, but Roddy and I were out one night in Halifax and snow was coming down. We happened to bump into Undertaker. He was having a hot dog on the street. Snow's coming down like crazy. Now the bar closed and our flight's at like, I don't know, 8:30 I think it was, and we're 20 minutes from the damn airport. I don't know. We got in at 7. I think we got in at 7:30. I said, fuck, you know, because the bar closed that we were at, the club, and Roddy goes, come on, we're going to go out. I said, where are we going now? I said, everything's fucking closed. Well, he knew a place that we went up the stairs, knocked on the door, and they did the gimmick, slid the wood over, looked at us, and called us in. We'll go into this bar, and they got a wrestling ring set up in there. You know, so anyway, it was a rock star lifestyle. I mean, whatever you wanted out there, it was laid out for you on a silver platter. And a lot of times you didn't pay for shit. I mean, sex, drugs, rock and roll, women, everything, it was all out there if you wanted. But that was pretty much. I'm thinking here as I'm speaking about this. I'm thinking of some of the details that I don't want to incriminate myself, nor do I want to incriminate anybody else.
Right.
But some of the details I'd rather keep to myself at this point. But
do you blame the lifestyle on some of the deaths that have happened in the world of professional wrestling?
Absolutely. Yeah. No. I read something which was kind of disturbing about Test. I think was one of the last wrestlers to die, unless somebody has died, and what else, and I haven't become aware of it. But I never met him. But I remember reading something about him having a conversation with his dad, and him saying to his dad, Dad, it's a shame, but you're gonna outlive me. Now Test, I think, was 33 years old. Yeah. This kid was built. I mean, he had one of the best bodies in the business. There was not a flaw on him, and it was a shame to hear that. And the lifestyle. We think we're celebrities, but we're not. We're pseudo celebrities, and we get caught up in this. And then when you're done with wrestling and your downtime, that's when you're drinking more, you're taking more pills, because it's sad to say, but a lot of that is just out of damn boredom, and you're not used to feeling what it feels like to be normal. You don't know what it's like to be normal or to be straight or to be clean. And I'm not saying everybody. Please don't take this the wrong way. But I would say a lot of the guys, a lot of the boys in the business, I mean, there was an individual I bumped into at a convention not too long ago who's got to be close to 60 years old, and he was standing there talking to me, and he was real nice, he was a friendly guy, and he had a good position with WCW, and he's standing there, and he's drinking his red wine, and, his hands shaking, and he's just dozing off. He's sleeping while he's standing up. Now, he's been in the business 30 plus years at least. So, the lifestyle, whether it be on the road, sex, drugs, rock and roll, women, it's hard to shake that when you're done with wrestling. Or I don't think anybody's really ever, it's very hard to walk away from wrestling. I think wrestling is usually done with them before they're done with it, because people say to me, well, you're a former wrestler. So, okay, that may be true. I'll wrestle every once in a while. I'll go overseas and do something. And these independent shows, few and far in between, because they're not paying. There's a whole story behind that. But you're a wrestler in your heart. You're a wrestler because the blood that courses through your veins and runs through your veins, you're a wrestler. It's in your blood. So when the wrestling business is done with you, Kurt Hennig, perfect example. made millions of dollars in the wrestling business. The wrestling business was done with him. So how does he shake that lifestyle that he's been leading for, I don't know how many years Kurt was in the business. I mean, second generation wrestler. How does he shake that lifestyle after wrestling is done with him? It's very difficult. You actually find yourself, and I've been caught in this. I'll admit, I've found myself that out of boredom, I'm doing it more because now I'm not responsible to show up at a wrestling show. I'm not responsible to rent a car, or get a hotel. I'm not responsible for anything. So out of boredom, I just can't shake this damn thing. And I'm not talking about me. I think I got a pretty good grip on my life right now. But the boys in general, I mean the boys. I'm not talking about someone who just, got in the business. And there's a few of them that got in the business strictly from a business perspective. I think maybe Jim Hellwig was like that, Ultimate Warrior. He was a businessman. But some of the guys that are really have got this wrestling in their blood, in their bones, and they can't shake it, and business is done with them. They don't know what to do. How do you shake that lifestyle that you've been leading for 15, 20 years? How do you do it? It's very difficult.